Look here, students. So far in chemistry, we have completed 4 chapters, which are all the basics in the chemistry. The periodic classification of elements that has given you some of the idea of the elements and its positions. For example, now you are having knowledge about the valency. First group elements, alkali metals, and second group elements, alkaline earth metals. And by the time you are also knowing what is oxidation number also. So knowledge of oxidation number also tells you the tendency to lose electron or gain electron. So by the help of these 2 chapters, which chapters? Periodic classification of elements, particularly periodic properties, and redox, that is based on the oxidation number. It becomes easy to learn the next very important chapter in the chemistry, and that is one of the biggest chapter. It is chemical bonding. Chemical bonding. See, in the part C of the question paper, you are going to get 3 questions for 3 mark each. So, one of the biggest chapter in the inorganic chemistry. Look here. If I write C plus O2 CO2, knowledge of first chapter, that is basic concept, tells you the calculation aspects, mass aspects, mole aspects, number aspects, etc. Then if you concentrate on the bonding aspects, for example, oxidation number also tells you a lot, because we have told 0 oxidation state for carbon, 0 oxidation state for oxygen, that means they are in the elemental state. But what about here? They are not in the same oxidation state, correct? That means some electron transfer is taking place when you move on the right side. So this we have to learn under bonding. See, until we learn chemical bonding, chemistry is always incomplete. I told you know calculation aspects with respect to basic concepts. You have not been told anything about the bonding, that is, for example, breaking the bonds, forming the bonds. This and all is not there at all. Then periodic table, when it is taught, you have some knowledge of valency and all. Electrons in the valence shell and all. Still it is incomplete. Oxidation number, when we told, some tendency you have understood. For example, oxidation number of fluorine is always -1 in its compounds, means fluorine always wants to gain 1 electron. Now this aspect only we are learning in detail with chemical bonding, and with chemical bonding the chemistry becomes complete. So that is why I feel this is one of the most important chapter. Okay, now what is chemical bonding? For example, if I want to tell you the definition, then question arises, bonding is between what? Bonding can be between atoms. Bonding can be between ions. Even bonding can be between the molecules. Then what is bonding? I think you can write this definition. What you can write? The attractive forces that holds atoms, ions, molecules, etc. That holds or that bridges atoms, ions, molecules, etc. is called chemical bonding. Is called chemical bonding. Okay. Now look here, what are all the things we have to discuss under chemical bonding? The first and most important thing to start with the chemical bonding is, see, one of the useful information is Lewis electron dot representation. You have knowledge of periodic table. Hydrogen in the first group, helium in the 18th group. Is that right? Okay. Then it starts with lithium in the second period, beryllium in the second period, first element, second period, second element. That is second group. Then when you go to the 13th group, in between there is a gap. And when you go to the 13th group, it starts with, I write here only, group number 1, group number 2, group number 13. Boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. Now, what is this Lewis electron dot structure? I will write for these elements first. Valence electrons. I don't know whether you have come across this in your high school classes. Valence electrons have to be written as dot over that atom. This is called Lewis electron dot structure. For example, hydrogen. See, all of you know hydrogen has only one electron. What is the electron dot structure? This. Because you know its configuration in the atomic structure 1s1 and only one shell. That itself is a valence shell. So, what is the configuration? 1s1. And that is why this is the Lewis dot structure for hydrogen. Then when you come to lithium, again it is same, because if I write the electronic configuration, ನೋಡಿ correct ನೋಡಿ Li 1s2, the atomic number is 3, no? 2s1. ಈಗ valence shell ಅಂದ್ರೆ this is not a valence shell, correct? What is the valence shell? 2s1, that is the valence shell. You know this represents principal quantum number or main energy level, k element shells. So the k shell, this is L shell. So k shell is inner shell. There is a word, I will write it, kernel. Kernel is excluded with valence shell, what remains now, that is called kernel. You leave the valence electron, what remains here? Li plus. Then what is the kernel of lithium? Li plus. And what is it? 1s2. This is called kernel. Because you have left the valence electron. If you exclude the valence electron, the remaining part is called kernel. Or it is a metal ion. Here it is a metal ion. What is kernel? Excluded with the valence electron. The nucleus with the inner electrons is called kernel. Okay, that is a different aspect. Now I am representing the valence electron in the Lewis dot structure for all these elements. So Li1, and don't try to write Li3 because you observe that 1s2 is inner shell. Beryllium, can you tell how many valence electrons? How many? 2 electrons. Correct? 2 electrons. Boron, how many electrons? For example, boron atomic number is 5. 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. How many electrons are there in the valence shell? 3. So that means, what is the electron dot structure for boron? See this. This is the electron dot structure for boron. Yes or no? Okay. Next, what is the electron dot structure for carbon? It is 4 electrons. Yes or no? 4 electrons. Then what is the electron dot structure for nitrogen? 5 electrons. 1s2 inertial, 2s2, 2p3. That means this is the electron dot structure of nitrogen. Okay? Oxygen, 6 electrons in the valence shell. So this is the electron dot structure for oxygen. Then what about fluorine? What about fluorine? How many electrons? 7 electrons. Correct. What about neon? What about neon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons. Okay, I write the configuration of neon. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Now leave this. This is the inertia kernel. And this is 2s2, 2p6 valence electrons. How many are there? They are 8. So that is why this is 8 electron. And this has been called with a name. What is it? Octet. So neon is a complete octet because it has got already 8 electrons. Understood? Then what about the remaining elements? They have a thirst of electrons. They are jealous by looking at the neon. Because octet is always the completely filled orbitals, which adds the extra stability. And never neon forms compounds. In the whole universe, neon is alone. Can you name any one compound of neon? Whether it participates in the bonding? Never. Why it is not participating in the bonding? Because it is already octet. No question of bonding arises. Then why these are all participating in the bonding? They are not having octet. Who is there above neon in the 18th period, 18th group? Helium. And helium is a duplet. And remember, for the first period, it is a duplet. This octet is a duplet. And it is stable for second period, for first period. Then whether hydrogen is a duplet? No. It is having only 1 electron. This participates in the bonding. Whether helium participates in the bonding? No. Remaining all elements, they are having the same number of valence electrons. That is why bonding is so easy to learn if we have the knowledge of periodic table. Say for example, I know halogens. I have memorized what are the halogens. Then how do I write the electron dot structure? Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. If I remember halogens, that is why it is very genuine to memorize the periodic table. Then immediately, for forming any bonding, I know this one. Chlorine is having 7 electrons. What about bromine? Bromine is also having 7 electrons. Iodine, what about iodine? Iodine is also having how many? 7 electrons. What about astatine? Astatine is also having parallel. Then somebody say about bonding in HF. If I am asked about bonding in HCl, I have very well understood. It is not necessary to learn bonding in HBr. That is same because the valence electrons are same. You understand? So periodic table is so much important to learn bonding. Okay, then if you have been memorized with the oxygen family, oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. So those who know what is the electronic configuration of oxygen in the valence shell, same thing for sulfur. Can you write the electron dot structure of sulfur? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can write here. Can you write the electron dot structure for alkali metals? Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. So since I know lithium, I know sodium, I know potassium, I know rubidium, I know cesium, I know francium. So this one point I think you have to learn now. Correct? So all of you can copy this electron dot structure. Now look here. There is a theory or a concept by two important scientists, Lewis and Purcell, to predict the bonding in terms of loss and gain of electrons. I write that heading. You write this. Purcell-Lewis approach. Purcell-Lewis approach of chemical bonding. This also I want. See, according to Purcell and Lewis, of course, this is also predicting one of the type of bonding, that is ionic bonding. Purcell-Lewis approach is an explanation for ionic bonding also. So 3 to 4 points are there. Just listen to me. One of the point is like this, as I said, noble gases are the most stable elements with completely filled octet except helium, and they are most stable elements and they do not participate in the bonding. Understand? So what is the first point? Group 18 elements. Group 18 elements are what? Noble gases with completely filled orbitals. And I call it as what? Octet. And they do not participate in the bonding. This is the first point. Group 18 elements are what? Neon is here, other elements I will write argon, krypton, xenon, radon. What is the electron dot structure for argon? Same as helium. Same as krypton is same as helium. So all of, for example, xenon I will show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is same as helium. Neon. So group 18 elements are noble gases and they have completely filled orbitals. They do not form compounds. This is first point. The second point. Now, importance is this. The elements just before the noble gases are the most unsatisfied. Yes or no? Because see, people are also like this. For example, your entrance exams. Someone who will get a medical seat or some NITs or IIT seats. Now, who is the most unhappy person? Most unsaturated. The person who just misses by 1 mark. Is it correct? So, like that, it is same here. Fluorine, bromine, iodine, they are having so many electrons. Just a shortage of 1 electrons. That is why they are the most unhappy group. And that is why they are the most reactive group. Group 17 elements called halogens, which are always interested in gaining 1 electron. Yes or no? In order to achieve noble gas configuration, the tendency for bonding started. If I have to gain some electron, I have to go to someone, no? Electron can neither be created nor be destroyed. Whether electrons are moving in the air, I am here, come on, take. Nothing like that. So, these elements have to approach someone for gaining electrons. So that is why, what is the second point? It is about group 17 elements. Group 17 elements. What do you call them? Halogens are always interested in gaining 1 electron. If you give 2 electrons, will it accept? It says no. Because it wants the completely stable octet. Gaining 1 electron. Why? In order to attain noble gas configuration. That is why I told you the competition, remember, the competition in the entire periodic table is what? In order to attain the noble gas configuration. And due to this, chemical reaction started. Look here. When this has been started, from the day 1, this universe has been created. Correct? I am not talking about this planet Earth where we are living. I am talking about entire Mars as the universe. This tendency has been started, and that is why elements are occurring in the form of compounds. This tendency, because of this tendency, elements are occurring in the nature in the form of compounds. For example, hydrogen and oxygen, how they are occurring? They are occurring in the form of water. Entire 3/4 of the Earth's surface is water. The tendency of forming compounds started. Why it is started? Because of the bonding. Next, the elements after the noble gases. What are the elements after the noble gases? You can see nothing is there. Not like that. After this, where you have gone? First group. No, don't write here. First group. The hydrogen is here. So what about first group? The elements after the noble gases means first group. After 18, where do you come? You will come to first group. They are always having what? 1 electron more. Yes or no? Because you have completed the octet, then you are writing one electron more. That means alkali metals are after the noble gases. So what shall I write here? Third point. I will remove some of this. Okay? The elements after the noble gases. The elements after the noble gases. What does it mean? They are alkali metals. What are alkali metals? Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium are always interested in what? Losing one electron. Why it is? In order to attain noble gas configuration. Now if I ask a question to you, what about the next element after the noble gas? I will not write it. What about the next element after the noble gas? Alkali metal. What is the next element after alkali metal? Alkaline earth metal. Then look here. Alkaline earth metal are always interested in losing 2 electrons. That is why oxidation number is 2. Valency you call as 2 since your earlier high school knowledge, which is not partially correct. Oxidation number is correct. Okay, the same thing you question here for oxygen. The element before the noble gases are always interested in gaining 1 electron. What about the element before the halogens? That is oxygen family. Are always interested in gaining 2 electrons. The elements before halogens, that is oxygen family, are always interested in gaining 2 electrons. Oxidation number of oxygen is how much? -2. Because it is interested in gaining 2 electrons. But whether this tendency is more or this is more, this is more. And when you come to the middle of the periodic table, chemical reactivity decreases. Alkali metals are most interested in losing 1 electron, just 1 electron. No? So it is so much burden for it. So this 1 electron is troubling me a lot. I will lose it. But alkaline earth metals, they have to lose 2 electrons. Aluminium, group 13, they have to lose 3 electrons. Reactivity starts decreasing. Chemical reactivity starts decreasing. Is it correct? So, who is the most reactive element in the periodic table? Halogens. Who is the most reactive element in the periodic table on the other side? Alkali metals. In what way they are reactive? Alkali metals are always interested in losing 1 electron. Halogens are always interested in gaining 1 electron. Chemical bonding has been established. Now, the last point I will write. The electrostatic force of attractions. Which force? The electrostatic force of attractions, or it is called another force, Coulombic force. Coulombic force binds or bridges the cations by loss of electron and anions by gain of electrons, and anion by gain of electrons, and forms ionic compounds. Okay, and So here I will show you one example. So these 4 points, I don't think any difficulty arises. I summarize. Noble gases are more stable, most stable because they are octets. The elements before the noble gases are halogens. They are always having one electron less, and they are always having tendency to gain 1 electron. Alkali metals after the noble gas, they are always having 1 electron more. They always want to lose that 1 electron and want to attain noble gas configuration. And if these elements gain 1 electron, they become minus. If those elements loses 1 electron, they become plus. Which force arises now? Which force arises? Electrostatic force or Coulombic force bridges or binds these two and forms ionic compounds. This is what is about Cosell and Lewis approach of ionic bonding. You write this and then I will give you some examples. Okay, look here. Let us take some examples. Examples of what? Formation of ionic compounds. So, I give a heading now, ionic bonding. What is ionic bonding? The last statement is what? Ionic bonding. What is ionic bonding? The electrostatic force of attraction which bridges or which binds positively charged and negatively charged ions is called ionic bonding. Which bridges positively charged and negatively charged ions is called ionic bonding. Now look here, I will show you how this is possible in terms of electron dot structure. Okay? Look at the board, all of it. Formation of NaCl, sodium chloride. Sodium, is this correct? So what is the configuration? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 plus chlorine. What is the configuration? I will write with a different dot so that you can identify. Is this correct? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. See this, 7 electrons. Now, this 1 electron, what will happen? This has a tendency to lose electron, this has a tendency to gain electron. They bring their orbitals closer, they approach closer, correct? Brings the orbitals closer, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And immediately what will happen? 1 electron from the valence shell of sodium jumps into the valence shell of chlorine, and this happens instantly. It is not like come on here and throwing the chalk like this, not like that. That is so much automatic. Within no time, it is no more sodium, that is no more chlorine. Now what is the right hand side? This is a metal which has to be kept in kerosene. Most reactive. Most reactive. This is a gas, chlorine, poisonous. Now what will form? Totally the nature changes because no more sodium, no more chlorine. Then what is there now? In the right side, what is there? Na plus Cl minus. Write the configuration. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Yes or no? Write the configuration. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. Is this correct? Huh? Then my question is this: whether these two are same or these two are different? Same or different? They are totally different. We are eating every day this one as common salt. If you eat sodium, you will get fire in the stomach, inside the stomach. Understand? It is preserved in kerosene. Burning will start. So sodium is different, sodium ion is different. Why? Because one electron. Remember students, nucleus is always sleeping. It has got nothing to do during the bonding. Massive fellow being dumped at the center. All these circus of formation of bonds, that is the property of electrons, particularly valence electrons. Then what about other electrons? They are sleeping? No. Later theories you will understand. In any step I have to take you to complete the bonding. Till that you have to keep your what? What you have to keep till that interest? No, I don't think that word is not a correct word. Huh? Concentration. No? Yeah, there may be some other word. The excitement. What about the formation of bonds? That and all makes very much importance here. So immediately the nature changes. What is sodium chloride? I will tell you one of the question asked. Solid NaCl contain sodium atom and chlorine atom, one option. Sodium ion and chloride ion, another option. Sodium chloride molecule, another option. So similarly, some more option may be there. Solid sodium chloride contain sodium ion and chloride ion. Remember. But we are not writing like that. We are writing NaCl. Then some of you may be thinking NaCl. Sodium atom, chlorine atom. That is all over. Now you are learning some chemistry by understanding. Sodium chloride has, see the electrons. Electron number is totally different. See the electron here. I will write in an easy way. Easy way I will write 2, 8, 1. 2, 8, 7. Here I will write 2, 8. 2, 8, 8. These are all octets. So this is sodium chloride, NaCl. And since plus and minus cancels, no? That is why we are not writing. But you must know that, what you must know? It is Na plus and it is Cl minus. And this is how sodium chloride is formed. You can draw this diagram also if you want. There is a nucleus, 2 electrons, 8 electrons, 1 electron. This is which nucleus? Sodium nucleus. Then what about chlorine? Look at this. 2 electrons, 8 electrons. How many here? 8 electrons. 7 electrons. Whether sodium is bigger or Chlorine is bigger. If you say chlorine is bigger, again I am getting angry on you because you are not memorized remembered the periodic properties. Along the period, atomic radius decreases. Again and again you will forget. When do you learn the concept of understanding science? The brain has to start thinking something. So, until that, this handle will not register. And if it is asked in the examination, you will write and go home. I know that. Along the period, decreases. Along the period, radius decreases. 100 times I say. Along the period, radius decreases. But you will not remember anything when it has to be applied. So, that is not the way to learn science. So, this is bigger and that is smaller. Now, what will happen? This one electron, what will happen? Tell me, this one electron, they come closer, this one electron jumps into which one? Chlorine. And suddenly what will happen? What about the size? I will tell you if you want the size. Sodium is 186 picometer, chlorine is 99 picometer. And after the transfer, what will happen? There is no space here, I will write here. Look at this. What will happen? I will show you. Na plus, now correct? Na plus 2, 8. 2 electron, 8 electron. Because this has gone, no? And what about chlorine? What about chlorine? How many electrons? One more extra electron is coming here. 2 electron. 8 electron. 8 electron. What is the size? What is the size? 95 picometer, 181 picometer. This is Na plus, this is Na+. Just one electron transfer. One periodic properties also I am linking here. So just a transfer of one electron makes the entire change. So much change in the size, so much change in the property. One fellow, sodium, is a metal who has to be kept in a kerosene, shining metal. Other fellow is an ion. We are eating every day as common salt. ಉಪ್ಪು ಅಂತ ತಿನ್ನೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಏನು ತಿಂದಿರಿ? ಉಪ್ಪು ತಿಂದವರು ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ತಿಂದಿದ್ರಾ? ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಅಯಾನ್ ತಿಂದಿದ್ರಾ? ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಅಯಾನ್. ಸೈಜಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್. ಈ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್, whether the same nucleus or different nucleus, it is the same nucleus. Anything has happened to number of proton and neutron? No, it is as it is. Nothing is happening here. See this, nothing is happening. Okay, one more example I want to show you in the form of Lewis dot structure. And one or two examples I will give you as homework. Example 2. Say this, magnesium plus oxygen. Can you tell me the electron dot structure? Magnesium is alkali metal, alkaline earth metal. Alkaline earth metal, what to do? How many? 2 electrons. Oxygen, how many electrons I have to draw? How many? 6. This is 2, 8, 2. This is 2, 6. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. Now, come on, form the, both these electrons are transferred. Correct, no? Yeah. Correct, no? So, what should happen now? Mg 2 plus O 2 minus. Okay, if you want, you can also show the electron. 2 comma 8, it is also octet, correct? 2 comma 8, is it octet? Whether this is octet or not? 2 comma 8. 2 comma 8, why? Because 2 electrons are lost. 2 comma 8, why? Because those 2 electrons are gained. Isoelectronic. What do you call? Isoelectronic. Mg2 plus and O2 minus are isoelectronic. So what is this? What is this actually? MgO. And while writing magnesium oxide, why we are not writing plus and minus? Because they get cancelled. And since they have got cancelled, suppose some students think that there is no charge. What a big mistake you are doing, is it not? That means even though here nothing is seen, is it not this meaning? Huh? Yes or no? Okay, then I will keep you some homework for today's class. Mg plus chlorine. How many electrons here over magnesium? 2. How many electrons chlorine requires? Can you tell me? Huh? 2 or? 2 or 1? Then how many magnesium has to lose? 1. How many electrons magnesium has to lose? 2. How many electrons chlorine has to gain? Then how it is possible? Then it says, come on, 2 of you come. 2 of you come. Use common sense. That is why formula becomes MgCl2. So 1 electron to this, 1 electron to this. And it becomes Mg2 plus and plus 2Cl minus. What is this? 2 comma 8. What is this? 2 comma 8 comma 8. Because this is 2 comma 8 comma 2. This is 2 comma 8 comma 7 now. 17. Are you following this or not? Otherwise you don't know electronic configuration, it means. And in fact you know electronic configuration. What you know? What you know, you don't know. What you know, you don't know. Who knows not and knows not that he knows not. This is one category. Who knows not and knows not that they don't knows not. ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಾನೆ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಬಾರದು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್. Think, thoughts always improves the brain. So, you know that, but you don't know. That is why I am once again telling you. 2 comma 8 comma 7. And what is the formula now? It is MgCl2. Now on homework I will keep. Question 3. This is 3. 4. You only one homework I will keep. Al, aluminium plus oxygen. What is aluminium? 1, 2, 3. What is oxygen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't say single word. I think this I will give you the meaning tomorrow. I think with this we shall conclude today's class.